on Breeze TV, we take an inside look at the annual Autumn Fest.
And we take a look at UPB's latest installment of Funny Freakin' Friday.
Plus, we learn about a JMU alum who is running for Harrisonburg City Council.
This is Breeze TV.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Good afternoon, JMU. I'm Caitlin Merriman.
And I'm Sydney Jacksheimer. Thanks for joining us on Breeze TV. John Grisham and James McBride, two best-selling authors, came to Forbes on Wednesday for the first installment of John Grisham's Writers' Hour at JMU. The Writers' Hour, hosted by Grisham and featuring McBride, is one of two that Grisham will host on campus this year. McBride was interviewed about his life, his creative process, and his most famous literary works. This includes a National Book Award winner, The Good Lord Bird, and New York Times bestseller, The Color of Water. Grisham was the host of this talk, and with his experience of authoring more than 25 best-selling novels worldwide, he gave some tips to the audience.
Sometimes it'll take you 15 minutes, sometimes it'll take you 2 hours, but you've got to do that 1 page a day.
Another award-winning writer, Alice McDermott, in the spring.
More construction is occurring on Port Republic Road this fall. The Exxon gas station and convenience store are currently under major renovations. Since last month, the Holtzman Oil Corporation has been in the progress of tearing down the Exxon convenience store and replacing it with a new one. The store is over 20 years old and needed to be remodeled to keep up with competitors.
This store just needed to be upgraded. It needed to be worked on, and it was old, and so it'll be a brand new store. It'll be very attractive.
The new facility will be a 7-Eleven convenience store with Exxon gas, identical to the store on Virginia Avenue in Harrisonburg. The store will feature amenities such as freshly made fried chicken, biscuits, seating, a beer cave, and upgraded bathrooms for customers. You can expect the new store to open in December.
A new study shows that car crashes have increased by as much as 6% in states that legalize the sale of recreational marijuana. Crashes have increased in Nevada, Oregon, Colorado, and Washington, states in comparison to nearby states that haven't legalized marijuana for recreational use. The two groups who conducted the research, Insurance Institute for Highway Safety and the Highway Loss Data Institute, will bring their new findings to a law enforcement summit. Purple Out shirts have officially sold out yesterday due to popular demand. SGA still has leftover shirts with old designs for people who weren't able to reserve the 2018 shirt. Anyone can grab one at Hillside Field Wednesday from 5 to 7 p.m.
The annual Autumn Fest took place this past weekend, and the community was excited for all the festivities to begin. I got to see what the rave was all about. Check it out. People from all over came to the Shenandoah Valley for this festival, some even driving over 4 hours to be there.
I have some wonderful friends that live in this area that I went to college with 50 years ago, and this is an annual event for us to come out here.
The festival had beer sampling, car shows, horse racing, live entertainment, and
the food. The food is great.
I'm right here with all this wonderful food, and I can smell it. So when we finish this, I'm going to go get a barbecue.
But the food selections weren't the only part drawing in more attendees. The festival had multiple vendors to check out, from jewelry to handmade lotions and even handcrafted birdhouses.
I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce of Shenandoah Valley, and so they asked me to come and exhibit, and so here I am.
Autumn Fest was ranked under top 10 festivals in the U.S. for fall by the Travel Channel.
We have plenty of room here to grow, so we don't limit them. So we keep growing every year.
Reporting for Breeze TV in Harrisonburg, I'm Caitlin Merriman. Coming up on Breeze TV, UPB hosted a successful Funny Freaking Friday last week.
Plus, The Bachelor's Ashley I took a trip down memory lane on campus this past weekend.
All up next on Breeze TV.
This is Breeze TV.
We the Kings is performing at Memorial Hall tonight. The pop punk group is known for Billboard hits Check Yes Juliet, Will Be a Dream, and Just Keep Breathing. Roses, famous for her hit of the same name, will open for them. Tickets are available online at jmutickets.com for $14 for students and $18 at the door. Doors open at 7 and the show will start at 8.
Last Friday, the latest installment of University Program Board's Funny Freaking Friday event was held at TDU. Comedian Andrew Olfo made the journey from San Francisco to perform his stand-up routine for JMU students in attendance. Olfo is a stand-up comedian as well as a co-host of one of the San Francisco's top comedy podcasts. Those in attendance enjoyed his performance as he had the audience laughing throughout the entire show. Funny Freaking Friday is a stand-up comedy event hosted once a month by UPB that is completely free for students to attend.
Ghosts and ghouls are taking over downtown Harrisonburg at the 3rd annual Skeleton Festival hosted by Downtown Harrisonburg Renaissance. This family-friendly event is free and open to the whole community. The event will kick off with downtown trick-or-treating, followed by a party at Turner Pavilion. The pavilion will be transformed for a spooky celebration featuring a DJ, weird science lab, and a caramel apple dipping station. This event also celebrates diversity of the area by incorporating Day of the Dead traditions. This is just one event Harrisonburg Downtown Renaissance coordinates to bring the community together.
It's just a way to bring everybody together and to celebrate diversity, different cultures, and I mean, events like Skeleton Fest are what make Harrisonburg unique and cool and kind of give it that small town quaint feel, you know.
The Skeleton Festival kicks off tomorrow evening at 4 o'clock at the Turner Pavilion.
Ashley Iaconetti made her way back to her alma mater over the weekend, and with her beau, Jared. They walked around her college classrooms in Harrison Hall and even stopped by her old dorms, Shorts, and Wampler.
My memories have food attached to them. I'm like, this is the greatest cheeseburger in the world. And then that's where I got coffee for an 8 a.m. class. And that's where I got tuna sandwich with so much mayo on them. And that's where I got the nachos that got me through.
We reached out to Ashley through an email, and she said Jared thought it was a beautiful campus, that the stadium was impressive, and that he was imagining how lively the quad must have been during warm weather. She was glad he finally understands why she constantly talks about Jack Brown's Burgers, and she said even though it's been 8 years since she's been in Harrisonburg, it feels like it was all yesterday when walking around campus.
Bird scooters have officially come to the JMU campus and the Harrisonburg community. Breeze TV's Peyton Kennedy reports on how students and the locals are responding to the new transportation craze.
Bird electric scooters have come to the JMU campus and Harrisonburg community. But how do they work? How are people reacting? And how can you actually make money off of them? With a mission statement to save our sidewalks, Bird started their company in 2017, placing electric scooters in cities and college campuses across the country. Their goal is to provide easy transportation that cuts back on traffic and carbon emissions.
It's gotten people out of the house and it's been like a fun social group. Like just the enjoyment that the community's getting out of them is probably the biggest pro.
After downloading the Bird app, users can see where nearby scooters are parked and claim one to ride. Just scan the QR code on the handle and pay $1 plus 20 cents for each minute of use. On JMU's campus, scooters have sped up to high popularity.
Yeah, I think that they're really cool and fun. It's new. I'm happy they came here.
With more and more people using Bird, it's important to address safety concerns and use the scooters properly.
Honestly, they go a little bit fast. I feel like you might need helmets. They're kind of dangerous.
Working to keep users safe, the Bird app does offer free helmets for users. You just pay shipping. As for JMU, the university says they strongly encourage students to follow all precautions when riding.
Students should be riding the scooters in bike lanes. If there's no bike lane, they should be on the right side of the road. And when they're finished with the scooter, they should park it, ideally near a bike rack.
Additionally, Bird offers the opportunity for users to get paid up to $25 an hour. These people are called chargers, and they receive payment for nesting the scooters, charging them overnight, and returning them to the community the next morning.
You're not going to get rich doing it, but figured I live downtown and maybe I can throw a couple in my house before I head out to work and, make an extra $15 or $20 a day.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Peyton Kennedy.
All right, guys, have you ridden a bird yet?
I haven't. Have you?
I have not. I'm looking forward to doing it though.
Yeah,
I did, and I just couldn't get the balance. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I think it's definitely harder than everyone anticipates.
I agree.
But Paige, we have sports coming up next. What's the update?
We're going to take a look at how well JMU did this week in the Berg, and it's the return of basketball season. All of that and more coming up on the Breeze TV Sports Wrap.
This is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to the Breeze TV Sports Wrap. I'm Paige Ellenberger. The Dukes had an impressive week at home with each team defeating their opponent. And as for football, the Dukes get to relax going into their bye week after their big road win against Villanova this past Saturday. The Dukes had an impressive comeback after breaking their 20-game win streak to the 10th-ranked Elon Phoenix. JMU capped off their first half of CAA play with a 37-0 blowout on the road against Villanova. D'Angelo Amos had back-to-back punt returns for touchdowns in a span of 2 minutes, tying for a school record. The Dukes are going into their bye week and will be returning to face Stonebrook for homecoming. JMU volleyball continues to dominate CAA competitors as the team went on to beat the College of Charleston Cougars 3-1. After losing the third set 25-21, the Dukes fought back to secure the win and continue their perfect CAA record. 2 days later, they accounted for their 7th sweep of the season after triumphing over UNCW Wilmington 3-0. Field hockey followed in the footsteps of the other athletic teams as they prevailed over the St. Francis Red Flash 8-1. Sophomore midfielder Rachel Yeager notched her first multi-goal game, now scoring in 4 of the past 6 games. Freshman midfield forward Aubrey Scott King scored her first collegiate goal and then added another to the list. Lindsay Gippy and Elfie DeRouge scored as well for the Dukes. Men's soccer won their 4th in a row after shutting out Navy 1-0 at Centera Park. Freshman defender and CAA Rookie of the Week Melker Anschelm tallied a header goal off of junior Emmanuel Ferrell's corner kick, helping the Dukes earn their 8th shutout of the season. The Dukes improved to 9-3-2 overall and 6-1 in CAA play. The women's soccer team clinched their 5th straight win as they defeated the Elon Phoenix in the big 3-0 shutout. The Dukes are 7-1 in CAA, and with this win, they can do no worse than tie for first place in the conference. Sophomore Ginger Deal, junior Haley Crawford, and freshman Hannah Cooling each racked up a point for the Dukes. JMU will close their regular season tomorrow afternoon against Delaware. The return of professional basketball is back. The 2018 and 2019 season tipped off when the Celtics defeated the 76ers this past Tuesday. Although yesterday, the Washington Wizards lost their home opener against the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat heated things up as they barely got by the Washington Wizards 113-112. The Wizards were looking for a fresh start, and all-star guard John Wall looked ready to prove that as he crossed over and finished with a dunk with 2 healthy knees in the second quarter. The Wizards let up some late in the second quarter, and the poor play carried over into the third as the Heat went on a 7-0 run to take the lead 69-92. After 3 quarters, the Wizards bounced back with a 10-0 run and regained the lead 87-85. The teams were neck and neck for the rest of the game, but Miami came with big plays when they needed it. It came down to the final second as Dwayne Wade shot from 22 feet out and missed. Luckily, teammate Kelly Olenek grabbed the offensive rebound and put it in to just barely cruise over the Wizards. Speaking of basketball, both men's and women's JMU teams start back up in just a few weeks. The Dukes set off their season interacting with fans at the first ever Hoops Fest. Reporter Daylin Burgess was there to check it out.
On Saturday, October 13th, JMU Athletics presented the inaugural JMU Hoops Fest at the Convocation Center. The Hoops Fest was the first official opportunity for fans to meet the 2018-2019 men's and women's basketball team. During the Hoops Fest, fans participated in a live Select a Seat event, which gave them an opportunity to purchase tickets that were still available. Staff from JMU's athletic ticket office was on site to assist the fans if needed. I caught up with Ania Young of JMU Women's Basketball to get her opinion on the importance of hosting a Hoops Fest.
To kind of get to know us, to be able to, hang around with us, see our personalities off the course. That way they want to come to more games.
Senior DeVell Phillips of JMU Men's Basketball also weighed in on the inaugural JMU Hoops Fest.
It helps us get in sync with our fans, and I feel like it will get them more involved into our game.
Women's basketball season opener is November 3rd versus Post University, and men's basketball season opener is November 6th versus EMU. For Breeze TV Sports, I'm Daylin Burgess.
There's plenty of action to keep up with over these next couple of weeks. Catch the Breeze TV Sports Wrap next time to get caught up on all the excitement. Now back to you, Caitlin and Sydney.
Thanks, Paige. Coming up next, Breeze TV's Anna Saunders gives us a look at a JMU alum running for City Council.
Plus, major improvements are coming to the busy Interstate 81.
All this and more coming up next on Breeze TV.
This is Breeze TV.
Interstate 81 may have a new look in the near future, and these changes may possibly affect the JMU and Bridgewater exits. The Virginia Department of Transportation held a meeting in Winchester yesterday to conclude a series of 3 meetings which discussed the Interstate 81 Corridor Improvement Plan. The plan came about after a Virginia transportation study was done to identify improvements along I-81 and potential revenue sources to fund the improvements. VDOT's Sandy Myers of the Stanton District says although no decisions have been made yet, proposals and public comments will be taken back to the Virginia Transportation Board at the end of the month. The General Assembly will decide on funding for the new improvements at the end of the year. Feedback and comments from those who use 81 are encouraged. You can submit feedback to VDOT's website.
There is a new member coming to the royal family. On Monday, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry announced that they are expecting their first child. The news came just before heading to the South Pacific. Once they landed in Sydney, the Australian Governor-General, Sir Peter Cosgrove, gifted the royal couple with a stuffed kangaroo and a pair of baby Ugg boots.
Most people go to the Arboretum to look at the life that's above ground, not below. Breeze TV's Carrie Nevins shows us how one JMU professor is using the Arboretum to teach young kids that even the smallest of life serves a purpose.
Most people come to JMU's Arboretum to look at its variety of plant and animal species. Last Friday, a group of young students had the chance to observe a different kind of life, but they needed microscopes. JMU microbiology professor Dr. Morgan Steffen led a free workshop about the crucial role that microorganisms play in the environment, despite their size.
We try and teach them that the ones that they're seeing when we look at them under the microscope are not gross or dirty or harmful in any way. Instead, they do really important things like cycle nutrients in water and soil systems.
The students mixed their soil samples with water, shook it up, and squeezed a drop onto a slide. What the mixture looked like under the microscope was left to their interpretation.
It looks like a blob almost.
It wasn't just the students who got something out of the experiment.
We took the same class 2 years ago, and it was so fun we came back to do it again because we loved it.
Community outreach like this is a vital part of Steffen's job as a professor and a scientist.
Being able to communicate what we do to people who are not scientists and not just students in our classrooms is really important, because if we're not talking about what we're doing, it's like it never happened.
For Dr. Steffen, it's not about convincing each student to be a scientist.
If we could inspire one of them out of the whole group to think, whoa, maybe I should be a scientist, that's enough for me.
For Breeze TV in Harrisonburg, Virginia, I'm Carrie Nevins.
Sal Romero is a JMU grad and is currently running for Harrisonburg City Council. But Breeze TV senior reporter Anna Saunders shows us that there's much more to him than just that.
Less than 30 years ago, Sal Romero came to the Shenandoah Valley as an undocumented immigrant. Now, Romero's name is on the ballot for the 2018 Harrisonburg City Council race.
I feel like as a minority, as an educator, and formerly as an undocumented person, I feel like I have so many experiences and so many lenses that will allow for the City Council to have a better understanding of what our community needs.
A JMU and Broadway High School graduate, Romero had trouble speaking English and making friends as a teenager and wanted to drop out. It was a day spent with his father at a local poultry plant that changed his mind.
So yes, he went and he decided that it wasn't what he wants. He wants to go to school.
If elected in November, Romero would be the first Latino to ever serve on Harrisonburg City Council.
It would mean a lot to Harrisonburg, certainly, to have that council member represent that community, but Sal certainly represents much more than that.
Romero's journey to the ballot has not been easy, but he says that his motivation has come from his family and the people that have always been in his corner.
I'm proud of my son. He has been the best son ever.
And it's been really rewarding to see people come to me and say how proud they are of my accomplishments. But I don't see as a gain for me, but more than anything's a benefit and a gain for the community as a whole.
Reporting for Breeze TV in Harrisonburg, I'm Anna Saunders.
Well, since there's no JMU football game this weekend, do you have any other big plans?
A little bit of R&R, you know, rest and relaxation.
Yes,
What about
I
you?
feel you. I think a face mask and bubble bath is exactly what I need after this week.
Me too.
Yes. Well, that's it for us on Breeze TV.
Have a great weekend.